Because I checked up on you guys, and it seems you guys have a history of disrupting everything. There's Steve Wozniak, there's a guy who developed the Apple mouse, and I hear that there are a lot of protests and political consciousness around here. So when it was mentioned that we're coming here, I thought, yes, this is the best place for someone like Omoyele Sowore to come here, or to come to discuss his aspiration. When we were in Nigeria, and I got the chance to now stay at close quarters with him, I realized that there was nothing fake about him. Now, I have had the opportunity to mix with some of those in government, and I can tell you that the difference between them is as night and day. Sometimes night even merges with the day. Give me two things that do not mix: oil and water. And so I decided, there's this intelligent guy, there's this humble guy, there's this genuine guy, there's this truthful guy, and then there's this brave guy who has come to change a country I am passionate about. Now I want to present this intelligent, genuine, brave, passionate disruptor to you. So please put your hands together for Omoyele Sowore.
Thank you so much. I'm going to do something very quickly, and that is that to let you know that I'm also a professor here in the US, and I'm going to give you a homework. Right? Is there anybody here who's afraid of homework? You're in the wrong school. No, don't be scared. I'm not giving you any homework. I am glad to be in your midst. And I just want to ask, is there anybody here who's been to Nigeria in the last 2 years in your midst? None. 2 years. When was that?
In December.
Okay, December. When was the last time you were in Nigeria? December. So you only go to Nigeria for Christmas? Is that what it is?
Usually.
Yes. Yes. What was your experience? Tell us. Your life, by the way. Do you have your permission to stream your life?
Yeah.
It's not going to endanger your life back home, right?
No.
All right. So what was your experience? Tell us, what was your experience?
My experience, so I flew into Lagos, but my family's from Edo State, so...
You flew into Lagos?
Yes.
Into the Murtala Mohammed International Airport?
Yes.
Known as MIA. All right? And where were you headed?
Edo State.
Fantastic. Edo State. What was your experience when you got to the airport? Did you like it?
I mean, I'm kind of used to it. I mean, it's definitely has been improved over time.
It has improved over time?
I think so.
Okay. What improved between the last time you were there and the last time you were there in December?
Not too much because I had been there.
Writing, time of arrival, your luggage, carousel?
I mean, more like the structure, the architecture, the lighting, the floors, the walls.
The floors were better?
Yeah, I mean, not from like the last time I'd been there, but just like I've seen over time.
All right.
Yeah.
So compared to where you were coming from, where were you flying in from?
I was flying in from Amsterdam, a connecting flight.
And how was the airport in Amsterdam compared to the one in Lagos?
Much more developed.
Better. Do you know that the Lagos airport was actually designed to be like the one in Amsterdam? Have you ever heard the story before?
No.
So, exact copycat of Schiphol was what Schiphol used to be in maybe 40 years ago when we went and copied it. But the way we have been, that airport has been that same way for almost 40 years, pretty much. And Schiphol has expanded and become one of the biggest hubs for air travel in the world. Yes, what else did you think? What about the transportation between Lagos? Did you go to Edo State or you stayed in Lagos?
Yeah, we went to Edo State.
Benin?
Yeah, Benin.
How was the trip?
Interesting.
Yeah? What was interesting there? Tell us.
So just how there wasn't, like, the roads weren't always paved, and sometimes
It wasn't paved.
Yes, there was some routes, like a certain areas we took where it was like really intense to drive.
Wow.
Lots of like bumping and jumping.
And how was that compared to here? California?
Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. So, what about the other lady who went to Nigeria? We want to ask you. You know, you don't want to have to say anything, record. That's fine, So, I'm taking time to just hear from you because this is completely about young people, right? This is completely about your future that's been mortgaged. I'm not saying specifically you, but so just as you are sitting here, there are almost 100-something million young people your age who have not gotten the options you have, who are trapped within Nigeria. I'm sure you saw many of them. Were you born in Nigeria? No. Is there anyone here who was born in Nigeria? When did you leave Nigeria?
In 2000, when I was like 6 years old.
And you haven't gone back since then?
No.
When do you plan to go back?
Probably next year with my father.
Okay.
He said I had to see it.
All right. How about you?
I left in like 2010.
2010?
Yeah.
That's not too long ago. It's about 9 years ago. Yeah. 8 years ago.
Yeah.
When do you plan to go back?
I should be going back Christmas or next summer.
All right, but you're not sure yet, right? How about you? Were you born in Nigeria? Yes. When did you get here?
Also 2000.
2000. Do you plan to go back anytime soon?
At this point, my finances just don't see it in the future.
Wow.
I'm gonna be real.
Are you scared of going back to Nigeria? Anybody here who's scared to go back to Nigeria? Scared? Well, so you don't feel like it's gonna be safe to go
It's
back?
not even safe. I think it's just the culture,
Yeah.
me being basically American now, and how
Yeah.
they're received, and the safety aspect too.
Yeah.
I hear many things. You have to be like low key. You can't come in looking like you're affluent or it's just dangerous, and it's just kind of sad to hear that.
Yeah. So, is there any one of you that feel like something can be done about Nigeria? Who's optimistic here? You? Fantastic. Is there anyone here in-house who would like to go back to Nigeria to roll up your sleeves and help make Nigeria work? All of you. Fantastic. So the person standing in front of you, now I'm going to introduce myself. I've lived in the US for 19 years. I came here in 1999. And my intention was to come spend 2 weeks and go back to Nigeria. Somehow 2 weeks became 19 years. Yes. And I'm sure for so many of you, probably you came for, just come do school. Is there anyone here who came purposely for school? Just, you got admitted, you came to school here. And, something led to something that you're not going back anytime soon, right? So I didn't come for school, I came for a different purpose. I actually came for a conference that was supposed to last only 2 weeks. I've been here for 19 years now. And this year, I decided I'm going back to Nigeria, but on a different level, which is to go and fight for the political future of Nigeria. Josh had introduced to you, I ran Sahara Reporters, which is an online website that's been dealing with investigative reporting on corruption in Nigeria for 12 years now. And I came to the conclusion that probably what I was doing at Sahara Reporters, this should be seen as a phenomenal work of investigative journalism, breaking news, and all of those stuff is not enough, because it looks like the political class in Nigeria that I've been fighting against for 29 years. I actually started as a student activist at the University of Lagos in 1999, I would say pretty much, when I became a freshman. The more you fight them, the more they become immune to, the kind of very civilized way of fighting them. When I say civilized, please pardon my use of the word civilized, because that could be misconstrued to mean that, people in our part of the world are not civilized. That's not what I meant. But I mean it from the point of view of civility. All right. and nothing is changing. As you probably, most of you, if you were in Nigeria 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 9 years ago, if you go back to Nigeria, the condition of Nigeria probably had deteriorated more than you left it. If you had a road that you could drive on for 10 minutes, when you go back today, probably you won't find anything on the surface anymore. That's, I'm surprised that somebody said that the airport's improved. I don't know, because I've been traveling to Nigeria a lot recently, and I haven't seen an improvement at the airport, even not with lighting. Anytime I arrive in Nigeria, I feel like going back to the plane, like right there, because like it's an assault on both your sensibilities and your humanity at the same time. When you get to a country and you're about to present your passport, if you arrive at 7 p.m. and there is blackout, and the custom guy flips out his cell phone and is like, bring your passports. And and then there's light again, and then or you are approaching the airport and the pilot is like, hey, we're about to land, and this suddenly you look down and there's darkness, and then he goes around again until maybe there's some at the airport. So this has been the story of Nigeria, this very progressive deterioration of a country over time. And there are people responsible for it. And we keep voting for them. We keep voting for failure in our country. We keep choosing, people who have no idea how to even run a country to become our leaders. Next year is going to be another opportunity for Nigerians to change the direction of life. I won't even say politics. We need to change that direction, and this is what we've been advocating. And we started 6 months ago or 7 months ago, what we call the Take It Back movement, which is to go back to Nigeria, mobilize young people in particular, and conscientize Nigerians, educate them to say, look, it is possible to have a country where things function. It's possible to have a country where you have electricity, right? Right now, Nigeria's got 7,000 megawatts of electricity, serving over 198 million people, right? If you divide it up, it's, an average Nigerian doesn't even have like a flicker of what you use on your cell phone, right? And this is the situation. And the road network, of course, you know what our roads are like. You know what our hospitals are like. I don't know if any one of you who've been back to Nigeria anytime recently had gotten sick and never been to any hospital. Anybody in Nigeria, have you ever been to a hospital in Nigeria?
I have when I was like younger.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't remember the details, but like
You don't have to tell us, yeah.
yeah, but like it was like pretty clean. I mean, I hadn't like seen what compared to like American hospitals.
Okay.
Like so, like that was the only. experience
Where
I
was
had.
this? Was it Lagos?
It was in Aba.
Aba.
State.
And it was a nice hospital?
It was a pretty decent hospital. Like yeah.
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah.
Okay. When you got here and you look back, what did you think?
I mean, it definitely like could be improved a lot more.
All right. So you have all of these things that should, you should typically take for granted, right? Not available in Nigeria. I'm sure that probably this school here. Do you guys have a hospital?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
It's good.
Is it good, or you don't even like it? Huh?
It's adequate.
It's adequate. So what I'm hearing from you is that you don't even feel like it's a big deal. You take it for granted. That's why you call it adequate. But if you compare what UC Berkeley Hospital, Nigeria, they'll probably, if it's attached to a university, it's probably a teaching hospital. They call it teaching hospital here too? Or is this a public hospital?
Yeah, it's public because our school doesn't have a med school.
Okay.
Like UCLA has a.
Oh, okay.
hospital.
You guys don't have a med school. So I'm just taking you through this as if we're in a class, right? There's nothing classy about it. We're just telling a short story of experiences about Nigeria. So, but what I'm hearing from you is that you love in your lifetime to see a Nigeria that works. That would be true, right?
Yes.
And probably you're not satisfied with Nigeria right now. Is that correct? Yes. Have you ever, throughout your lifetime, voted in any election in Nigeria? Anybody here? I'm not trying to ask your age. I know you guys will get upset if I ask your age. Anybody voted in any election? Is there anybody in here that has families back at home who are going to vote in the next election?
I hope they
Yeah.
can.
Okay. Is any one of you discuss politics at home? You discuss politics amongst yourself, Nigerian politics. Amongst yourselves, right? Yeah, what was the last time you talked about Nigeria, politically? What did you talk about? Tell us.
So like Nigeria's like revenue is like very dependent on like oil.
Oh, yeah.
We export a lot of oil, like the raw materials to like countries, but the problem is that we lack, and it's like ironic because we for our own people when that's our biggest natural resource. And
Is that what you discussed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like how like corruption in like the oil industry and
You
like
discussed corruption.
and like the oils and the water and like how we destroy like ecosystems.
Ecosystem, you discussed the environment. I told you guys I'm a teacher, right? Let's go. Keep on going.
Yeah, I just mainly focus on that and like how like we kind of have like a resource curse. Like we have all these resources.
Resource
but we're
curse,
not
yeah.
allocating it to our people.
Okay.
And like different states like get a lot of money, but that money is never like seen like trickle down to like the populations. And,
Poverty.
yeah.
Somebody said they have a minor in poverty. What did you?
Global poverty and practice.
In global?
Poverty and practice.
Okay. What did they teach you in that class?
Basically, poverty theory about poverty alleviation, different economic theories on how to alleviate poverty, but really I haven't seen any practical application of the material.
Have you ever been taught about Nigeria in poverty class? Have you ever
Besides
mentioned
being an
Nigeria?
example of poverty, no.
Do they use Nigeria as an example
Yeah.
frequently? Yeah.
Yes.
So you haven't come across any, poverty alleviation theories in your class that can help Nigeria? Have you found?
No practical
No.
application. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. I mean, I'm enjoying this class, right? I'm enjoying this conversation and engagement. That's why I am not speaking to you the way typically a politician would talk, because I'm trying to see what I can extract from you regarding how you feel about Nigeria, how you think Nigeria can become a self-sufficient, progressive nation, where you can end poverty, diseases, and all those terrible things, crime that you've heard about in Nigeria. That's why I'm engaging this way. But what do I want to do eventually is that I'm not running to become your professor, right? I'm running to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Come next year. The election is coming in February. And we just have been traveling around the world to talk to people, engage largely with Nigerians abroad. Now we felt like it would be good to go to a classroom in the US to talk to Nigerians who are students. And is there any one of you, by the way, whoever went to university in Nigeria before you came to the university in the US? Anyone? No. So, is there any one of you here who did secondary school in Nigeria? Secondary school? You did secondary school? Up to what time?
I finished up to SS3.
SS3.
Yes.
When you got here, what do you think about your secondary school education?
There was a feeling.
Compared to what you had to get here?
So I spent 2 years in South Africa, so that kind of helped coming here. But
you had to use your 2 years in South Africa to make
to
up for
try to
what you
get
lost.
get ready.
So you are saying that the South African educational system helped you better than what you had in Nigeria. Is that correct?
Yes.
South Africa.
Yes.
Wow. So if you hadn't gone to South Africa, it would have been difficult for you to cope when you got to the US.
Yeah, I've definitely been challenged.
How about you, man? You said you did secondary school in Nigeria.
Yeah,
How were you able to cope when you got here?
I did A levels.
When did you do your A level?
In Nigeria?
Okay.
Yeah. So
How many years was A levels for?
It's usually 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't done A levels, it would have been tough for you to come from high school to college here.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, that's interesting. So what did you think of your secondary school education in Nigeria? Did you go to a private school?
Yeah, I went to a private school,
Okay.
so
Nobody definitely here went to a public school.
It was.
You went to a private school? Private. You didn't go to school in Nigeria? Okay, wow. So that's very interesting. Nobody in this room ever been to a public school in Nigeria. Yeah, I went to a public school. I went to when I was in primary school, I did, just like one of those next to the bush primary school. I went to a community high school, and I attended the University of Lagos. And when I came over to the US, I did my master's at Columbia University in New York, right? Now you can understand why I'm not afraid of you guys. I went to an Ivy League school too. So, yes. So, if you need recommendation letters to go to Columbia, contact me. Yeah, this is the time to brag about my educational background, right? So, yeah, and I can see you guys are starting to respect me. That's good. Anyways, this is just what it is. It's for us to, in Nigeria, get to a level where we can be having this kind of conversations. It will be great, right, to have leaders who can communicate with generations of young people. Is there any one of you who feel like you've met a Nigerian leader, public official, that you can relate with? Like a governor? Members, yes.
I met Governor Ikpeazu from Abia State.
Ikpeazu?
Yeah.
Where was that? Recently?
Yeah, he comes to our conventions like every year, and I met him at NAUSA. It's like Ngwa National Association.
That's your national association?
Yes.
He came this year?
He came last year and the year before that. And he's been coming since like 2015, if I remember correctly.
So what made you respect him?
He was like the first governor that was like Ngwa from like Abia.
From your own power?
Yeah, so, and I like that he was very like well-educated, well-spoken. But he spoke to us like just normal. Like he didn't sound like a politician to us at least.
But have you found out what he's done with the state since he became governor? Did you check?
I don't know much, but my relatives back home they like him. Yeah, and my parents. Really
and you don't think it's because it's from Ongwa area?
That might be part of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. So, well, having said this, I'm going to stop here and take questions. Don't forget that I didn't tell you anything I'm going to do for Nigeria. I want to take questions and comments from you. The reason I'm going to do that, and I'm not campaigning to you, is that I want you to talk to me as if you are campaigning for president of Nigeria. Ask me questions that I could have asked you, because every one of you seated here today is qualified, better qualified. I repeat it, better qualified than the people who are managing Nigeria. You are better qualified than the president of Nigeria. Yes.
I agree.
You agree?
We know.
We know. Better qualified. You are better qualified than the governor of your respective states. You just need to hear them speak. Or if you haven't heard them speak, go to the state they are managing. You will know. Anybody here from Delta State? Yes. Did you hear your former governor recently on a TV show, Oduaga, who said that after 8 years, his only achievement was that women could deliver babies, and it was horrible. So I'm glad you guys felt that way. So let's do the Q&A so that we can start wrapping up. Do you have questions for me?
So pretty much how are you gonna make corporations accountable?
Fantastic.
And how will you improve infrastructure, and do you have any policies in mind? And also adding on to that, how do you plan to work with other African governments and trading instead of just trading with US or European countries?
So your questions are...
And what are you gonna do about China?
Fantastic. Let's put it number one question is, how do you deal with China? Number two, corporations.
Accountability.
In terms of how they're buying up.
Yeah, taking all the jobs.
Three, what's the number three question?
I'm working with other African countries.
Yes, foreign policy. Would that be correct?
And improve the infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Four. Man, I haven't taught in a long time. I don't even know how to spell some of these things correctly anymore. What's wrong with you, man? So, China, why do you think they are afraid of China? Anybody?
We're not afraid of China.
Why is China popping up in our conversations? Can anybody tell me why? Yes, go ahead.
Because China sees opportunity in Nigeria.
They see opportunities in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
They do everywhere.
But Nigeria has a large enough populace to create a large potential consumer base for them that they can see. But moreover, because I believe there are certain people in office that are easily bought, they're aware that with that they're easily able to gain political power, and with that the ability to get a disproportionate amount of access to resources as a country outside of Africa should be able to get.
So is anybody else who has a theory about China, apart from the fact that they take advantage of us? So they see, they see people,
Oh, President, I want to comment on the economic side of China.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to ask next. If somebody cannot see Nigeria's population, and what they did with their own people in China. So please intervene.
Okay, China is not just about their population and the.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Ugo Billy. I do believe the China impact or effect is part of your manifesto, President. First thing China did, because I did that research back in the day, they closed their seaport to disallow, other products coming to their country. And the reason is that they want to empower their people to start producing. You know what I mean? Because when everybody is shipping every goods and services into your country, that discourages your local producers from producing.
Yes.
And the only way you can go is that when you produce, then you can make money, number one. And when you produce, you'll be able to hire, create employment. And when you produce, you'll be able to pay taxes. And when you produce, you'll be able to develop other infrastructures. So what they did is that they closed their border to allow their local producer to start producing. That's the reason that most of them start moving out of China. Some of them that don't have patience to stay in China then. That's why you see them, they scatter every part of the world. Though the ones that stayed behind, they start producing. And that is why most of them are rich today, the ones that start producing. That's number one. Number two, what the government did for them is to empower them, to give them give them what they call cheap access to funds. Okay? Because he may have the idea, but when you don't have the money, you cannot do anything. The idea will stay there. So when you have the idea, number one, you still have the money to produce it. So that's the second thing they did. Then the third thing they did, though United States and other people have been complaining, I think they have been manipulating their money. I think that's why Trump have been fighting them. What they're doing or what they did is that they make sure their products and services are so cheap, cheaper than yours, that when you have my phone and other phone, the China one will be $1, your own will be $5. So which one do you go for? $1. Especially when two of them do the same thing. Do the basic thing to make us test. That's the basic thing phone can do. You see? So that's another thing they're doing. They have been helping their people through manipulating their currency. Nobody till today, I think nobody till today can challenge Chinese product because they're so cheap. That's number one. Number two, again, people are complaining about their quality too. Because most of their products, because of that cheapness, do not meet most of US standards. So, President, I think that's one of the things I want you to look into in Nigeria.
So, thank you very much.
If you can give our producers access to
subsidized loans.
Yes, number one, and number two, helping us with the infrastructure, the lights, the roads and stuff.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
So is there anybody here who thinks that there's something we can learn from China? Anybody? What's it we can learn from China?
I think what we can learn from China, particularly after the end of the Mao era, was how they were very active and willing to reinvent their economy and not lean on the crutches that they had traditionally worked upon, and started branching out. And in particular, they decided to do a lot of bringing back expats and trying to encourage them to become a part of their leadership base, as particularly both on the business side of things and in the political side.
This is brilliant what you just said. At the point when China, this is not only China but also India, they deliberately created opportunities for their experts who are outside to come back and become part of the leadership base. When you mean leadership base, is that, if we found someone at UC Berkeley who's a Chinese person or in India, they will bring them back home. They'll do everything they can, and reintegrate you. They give you the opportunity to come and teach or bring the ideas you have back home, and then, tap into that. But in Nigeria, they don't even accept that. I just went to Nigeria for the first time last year with Sahara reporters. A few days after I came, somebody was there to attack me physically. Or he wrote a story about me. Police came and arrested me physically. They wanted to jail me. 2 weeks later, all the money that I brought to Sahara from a foundation that was funding a media lab in Lagos, they took the money with a court judgment that they obtained in the middle of nowhere in Ilorin. So they don't accept us because the political class in Nigeria don't want Nigeria to develop, right? Maybe the political class in China, or the political bureau, as they call them, the Politburo, that's the leadership, actually go out of their way to encourage people with better ideas to come home. And whenever they have a chance to do something for cheap in the China, when other people bring ideas to them and use their cheap labor, China will copy it with no shame, replicate it. You know how you get your knockoff bags. I'm not saying any one of you is here using knockoff bags, but why are you looking behind? Is that a knockoff bag? No. This is how China became, self-sufficient. Is that they started working very hard. They started expanding their production base. They has in the world some of the fastest trains in the world. Same amount of money that China will use to build fast trains, the same amount of money Nigerians will take out to go and buy houses in Dubai, London. They buy private jets. The difference between us and China, when they want to fight corruption, they will shoot you if you're still in China. In Nigeria, we'll give you a chieftaincy title. We move you from the back of the church to the front of the church. You are celebrated everywhere you go. You find yourself in front pages of newspapers. They give you titles. Some of them will be Dr. Alaji. Okay, so I was told that you have a new class here by 2 o'clock. What a shame. Anyways, so quickly, holding corporations accountable. Person standing in front of you actually been here before to fight against Chevron. Chevron is your next door neighbor around here. We saw one of their refineries today. And foreign policy towards Africa, we have this Afrocentric foreign policy, which has been a big brother. But we need to have a Nigerian-centric foreign policy. Infrastructure, we want to double Nigeria road infrastructure by 200,000 kilometers of new highways. So on this note, because we have a new coming, and I hope
we are working. While we are working, you can
start with her.
What's your name and what's your major?
My name is Christine Chiluba. So I'm intending business administration. I'm with a minor in political economy. I guess my long-term career goal is I want to own a multinational corporation between African countries and help with trading and stuff. Hampshire. I think we should go that way because it shows more of the country.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I'm applying to the business school this fall. So yeah, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a football game today, so
go together. All right. Who is gonna be my next victim? So, young lady. What's your name?
Shoma.
Could you please tell us what your major is?
I'm political science and pre-med.
Political science and pre-med. That's a very interesting combination. Why?
Well, I've always liked pre-med and I liked chemistry, so I was that at first, but I also really like politics, and I feel like I have, this will be the only time for me to really engage in politics before I go into a career in medicine.
So you are doing the political science side of it just to understand politics, but you're going to focus on pre-med in future. Why can't you do both?
I would like to incorporate it maybe much later after med school and starting medicine, but I enjoy the idea of being part of campaign strategy.
All right. Say hi to Nigerians. Right, yeah.
If you really become president of Nigeria, I'm really about to be I was just walking with
All right. That makes you my next victim.
hey.
So what's your name? Tell us your name and your major.
Peter.
Why you chose your major and what you plan to do with it. Is that Nigerian?
No. Probably.
Okay.
My name is Peter Emmanuel Iwuchukwu Godslaw.
All right.
I'm a social welfare major, minor in disability studies, pre-med. I'm a senior here at UC Berkeley.
Nice.
I came here because I wanted to get away from LA and, the opportunities of, #1 public university in the world. So, yeah. Honestly, I'm just really, of course, interested in Nigeria and the opportunities and the future for our youth. Right now, if anyone hasn't heard of it, there's an organization called Atide. They're building 2 schools in Lagos, Nigeria right now. This upcoming Nigerian Independence Day, I forgot the name of the 2 schools that they're gonna do it for, but I'm excited for the future for what Nigeria can become.
So if Sowore wins, you're gonna go back home. I heard you say that.
Of course, we have to. I think we can't forget. Our.
Saying when you win, is going back home.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All of them are going back home.
Are you all going back home if he wins? Or when he wins?
Come back.
So what also has been the toughest demographic to reach, and why do you think that is the case?
I actually think it's the people that are toughest to reach are Nigerians who are educated. True. They don't care about politics, but they like to discuss it. But they are so aloof, by way of maybe sometimes it has to do with what they think they already know, and you discover that they don't know enough, because if you were to care about your country's politics, you at least vote. Most of them don't vote. Yeah. And you can't find a place where you can easily reach them except you go to church. And the churches and mosques control who they see.
Are you a student, sir?
And their members are exposed politically. Yeah.
And what will you say about the religious sentiments in Nigeria?
Very controversial topic. So it is a major problem.
All right. I found myself a new friend. Hello. Could you tell us your name, your major, why you chose your major, what you plan to do?
My name is Chelsea. That's why going this way. My major is political science. I chose it because, I really wanted to major in economics, but the economics major here is really complex and you have to apply before a certain time, and by the time I realized that's what I wanted to do, it was too late. So I went political science, and I plan to still go into finance
maybe a master's, maybe the workforce first, and then the master's.
All right. Thank you very much.
And I think what scares me is like this lack
The thing is, he's also. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. You want to tell us what your name is, your major?
My name is Joy Adam. I am a third year at UC Berkeley studying public health, and I'm minoring in global poverty and practice.
That's a very interesting minor.
Thank you.
Could you explain what that is?
Global poverty and practice looks at different theories and methods to alleviate poverty. But in order to do that, you must understand how it operates today and historically.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
So what do you plan to do with that when you graduate?
I want to get my master's in public health and focus on global health, and to help, I guess, poor areas, and specifically help Nigeria. This here is the Campanile right here.
Campanile. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
I think my president could tell you about the Campanile. So it's a famous spot in Berkeley. If you go all the way to the top, you can see all of the bay.
Are we allowed to go?
Yeah, you can go all the way up to the top. I think you have to pay like $1 or $2.
We could do anything. All right. I haven't spoken to you yet.
Oh, hello.
Hi, what's your name? Tell us your name.
My name is Blessing James. I'm a third year here at UC Berkeley. My major is public health with a concentration on global health and maternity and child health. I'm pre-med on the pre-med track, so I'm planning on going to medical school. I'm planning on pursuing my doctorate in public health. Yes. I'm also minoring in global poverty and practice. Basically, global poverty and practice covers poverty alleviation, the practical applications of poverty, and how we can alleviate it. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. My mother is from Ibeno Beach, so I really want to be able to directly kind of help these communities with my education here.
That is amazing. Thank you all so much.
Yes.
Who haven't I spoken to yet?
Yeah, there's a ton.
You?
Yeah, but I'm not a student.
I'm a student.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Greetings.
Tell us, what's your name, your major, why you choose your major, what you plan to do with your major.
So my name is Ogenochuko Eyimaro. My major is nuclear engineering and material science engineering. And the particular reason why I decided to choose nuclear engineering is because...
Did you say nuclear engineering?
I said nuclear, or nukula, as George Bush would like to say it, engineering.
Wow,
and
amazing.
I chose it in particular because Nigeria produces so much oil, and being from Delta State in particular, we produce a large amount of oil. Yet at the end of the day, it feels like a lot of the money does not necessarily flow to us, and it goes over our heads. There's no there's no reason for light to be taken regularly in one of the biggest oil and energy producing states in the world.
Yeah.
So I wanted to use a very easily renewable resource in nuclear data to make up on it, so that if we can at least produce that energy for ourselves.
Yeah.
That will help alleviate things small, and then from there we can start moving on to other things, like how to properly manage our oil in terms of investing trade well, how to turn less of our how to turn less of our oil into crude and more into self-produced plastics and polymers and other things that I'm also invested in with my material science side.
Take it back.
Action.
Yes.
No, you know the sign, right?
Yeah, but
It's not like this.
Yeah, so when you shout action, you just...
It's not like this, guys.
They're just ready. Yeah. Look at them. That's a professional.
I think we have to be more like
We gotta rep that. Let me stick with the student first.
Let him take with the student first.
Student first, then we gotta move to the center on the grass.
You need to move. No, you need to move here.
Hey, who's our camera person for this? Right here. Somebody gave him the camera. Closer together, please. Come on, everybody. Yes.
Josh will join later.
Give it to her so I look like I'm trying to...
Please, can you help record?
Can you take a picture from me as well? Can you take a picture from me as well?
Let me take it. Give it to
We will let him with the student first, then we'll join.
The lighting's good right now. Closer together, please.
Where's your picture?
I gotta rep my school. She lay. This guy is.
You gotta remind people where they are.
I'm gonna sit down.
Peter, your knees aren't built for this. Let me do the squatting.
Oh God.
Come on, y'all, let's take a picture.
Get close.
So I'm videoing, right? Not pictures.
Pictures.
He's taking pictures. AC!
Take it back.
Take it back.
Action.
Take it back.
Action.
AC!
Take it back.
You guys are fast learners.
Yeah. Of course, yes.
UC Okay, UC Berkeley. I learned. Yeah.
What's that? What did you just say?
You want to take a picture?
That's all.
Okay, y'all want to join now?
If you look
Fire.
closer, you shall see the image in the sense.
Yeah, man.
Who's taking a picture?
I'll still hold it.
Take a video from this.
Could you take a picture?
Yeah, I'm just videoing.
Guys said you can't trust
Uncles with cameras.
Have you seen the way that uncles be posting on Facebook?
How do they post something?
Terrible. The blurry selfie.
Is it filming?
Why are you doing your face like that?
Are you taking a picture? Tell us 1, 2, 3. We don't know.
Oh,
She's not
sorry. AAC.
Take it back.
AAC.
Take it back.
AAC.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Action!
There we go.
Who's taking the picture?
Again, one more time.
This guy is lost.
Oh, it's a video right now.
My pants about to rip.
Okay, you can
All right,
stop
now
it.
take the picture.
Okay, you can stop it and put it on photo. Take the picture.
He doesn't know.
Okay. No. It's good.
No, I think
So,
you got it.
1, 2, 3. AC.
Take it back.
Take it back. Action. Again.
AC.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Action. Yeah. Good.
Like, we got a picture of my
This guy is still worried about.
My body.
Okay, I know you don't go to UC Berkeley.
No, he goes to UC Berkeley.
I think they got pictures.
He was
Some of them will work.
Have I interviewed you?
Yeah, you're right. We had all one.
Sure.
When you went to Chelsea.
I did Chelsea.
Yeah, wait till.
I haven't interviewed you.
Oh, I'm not a student.
So what do you?
What? Yeah, I trust.
It's not too hot.
I can still talk to you.
I don't do well.
So, what? I know you're not a student.
Okay.
So, what's your name? What do you do? And why are you here today?
My name is Oluwakemi Odusanya, and I graduated this year, and currently I'm a software engineer. And okay, are we taking more photos?
Everybody get closer.
Closer. The picture was really scattered.
Can you go on this side? Yeah, thank you.
AC.
No, please. I beg. You already said it. You heard me for lying.
All right. I'm ready. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you're not.
Okay, be ready, be ready, be ready. Yeah, Chelsea, go there. Then now I can see.
Yeah, she's good.
But you need a picture with the ASC sign from you guys. Are you sure?
They counted it.
Now maybe they.
Oh no, one more.
Focus. No, it's done.
Look at Blessing, look at Blessing.
You're a born photographer.
I think you should have
Yeah.
Sahara reporter. Yes.
Wow.
Get out of
Director,
the frame.
future Sahara reporter, photojournalist.
We're going now.
The dedication is impressive.
Wow. Fantastic. My goodness. Are you sure you're taking pictures? Let's not get the capitalism. Yes. What's that wedding movie in Nigeria? Wedding party. She looks like the photographer.
Okay, let's quickly finish. So you're a software engineer.
Yeah.
And
I
work for what company?
Adobe.
She works for Adobe.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
yes. I don't know what to say.
So-
okay, yeah, I came here because I've been following Sowore's campaign the past 2 years. Thank you.
One second.
Sorry. Yeah, I've been following his campaign. I recently came across his like one of his videos, and then I've just been following his campaign. And then a friend of mine who went to UC Berkeley had sent me this event. I was like, oh, I really have to go. Yeah, and so I came all the way from San Jose, but it was really worth it.
So when Sowore wins, would you go back to
Definitely,
Nigeria?
definitely. I really always I've always had it in mind to go home, and it's not just like I didn't want it to be something of like 10, 15 years. I want to go home while I'm still young and while I can still make changes. And yeah, I really hope this works out. And yeah, I would really love to go home.
Bye guys, say bye. Bye. Take it back.